Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and got a little bit of news going on. Sean Lee is made his decision. He is now coming back to the Dallas Cowboys. Well, he's coming back to play for 2019. Now, if he does come back to the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys do have to make some tremendous changes to his contract because as of right now, he's a salary cap hit of about $10 million if they decide to keep him. But I know they're for a new contract, he would definitely have to take a tremendous pay cut. He knows that if he comes back to Dallas Cowboys, which that's what he wants to do, he wants to come back and play for the boys. He knows that he's going to be in a reserve role because with the emergence of Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith playing lights out, these guys are a tandem right now. They're a duo, but you need depth. And I welcome Sean Lee back to this team. You know, I always wanted him to play. It just sucks that he's just injury prone, you know, from tearing his ACL to multiple hamstring injuries, knees, ankles, everything like that you could think of he's had. He's just tremendous guy, great leader, football-minded guy. And mind you, I played linebacker in high school and semi, but I look at it like this. That's my position. Like, I love linebacker position. I love defense. I love hitting people. That was my position. I loved it. And just seeing how cerebral he is just being a player coach on the team and being there for the young Leighton and the young Jalen. And Jalen looks at it like this: whenever Sean Lee decides that he doesn't want to play anymore or not a part of this team anymore, he says it's gonna be his defense. And you can see he does a lot of the line calls, the calls for the defense and stuff when they come in the game, which is good. These younger guys stepping up and doing big things. Leighton Vander Esch had a great rookie season, even though he wasn't originally touted to go to the selected to go to the Pro Bowl. He eventually went because of dropouts and things of that nature. But in my opinion, he still had a Pro Bowl rookie season. Great guy, the Wolf Hunter, and he can only get better from this point. And Sean Lee coming back, again, it's going to be a limited role if the Cowboys decide to keep him. That is, and he knows the writing is on the wall. He knows where his place is right now. And he's already said in multiple interviews this past season that this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to be. I'm okay with that. I don't mind backing these guys up. Because, again, you play Sean Lee in a limited role, he has a better chance of playing more of the season. He has less of a chance of getting injured. And in case he does, you put those incentives in his contract to the point that, okay, if you get injured, you don't get this certain amount of money, blase, blase, blase. You're already paying on a smaller pay rate. So it's friendly for the Cowboys. They can do that, no problem. There you go. You got your depth. And he can help out with, Chris Covington. And if they decide to bring back either Justin Marshall-Lillard or Damian Wilson, too, because those are two guys, too, that have ending contracts as well. Also, too, another one, Travis Frederick. Travis Frederick, we know, has been our main man, our center, since he came into the league. And, he's been an all-pro. He's been a Pro Bowler ever since he's been in the league. And, unfortunate situation, him getting that, see if I'm saying this right, Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's an if you guys don't know, it's an autoimmune disease that attacks your nervous system at any point in time. And this is one of those things that, like, there's no cure for it. It will never go away. He will be dealing with it for the rest of his life. But in a recent interview, Travis Frederick said that basically, hey, I feel much better. By the time we come back for OTAs and training camp, I will be 90% to maybe 100% ready to go. Now, that's great news, and I love it. I love Travis Frederick. I love everything he brings to this team. It helps Dak Prescott, first of all, because Dak Prescott doesn't have to worry about the line calls and stuff. That was Travis Frederick's job. Don't get me wrong, Joe Looney did a great job, but he's not Travis Frederick. Joe Looney, I think, would be a great backup center. And I think that Joe Looney needs to stay as well because you got that insurance policy just in case, something happens with Travis Frederick and his nerves go bad and he can't play again. So it's always great to be optimistic about that. And I love Travis Frederick. I love the leadership and all of these guys. And, the fact that they love Dak Prescott, they love playing and they love blocking for him. And, just the team chemistry. I'm loving what's going on and what we have here. And the Cowboys organization has done so much for Travis Frederick, helping him through the situation, anything he needed with his family and things of that nature. And if you look at the sidelines, he was there with his headset on the whole time throughout the whole season. He went to away games. He was, he was with the team. And I know, from his standpoint, he's a competitor. You want to play. It was a little bit of not animosity to other players, but he just hated the fact that he couldn't be there to help his team. And that's the reason why I said with David Irving, with the whole thing is when your team needs you and you're not there. That's why I made that comment about David Irving. Like, I was so disappointed in him and how, like, yes, you have stuff that happens outside of, because football's your job. You have things that happen outside of your job, but this is your job. This is your team. You need to be there for your teammates, period. And he wasn't there. But Travis Frederick, you got these guys out here. Travis Frederick is dealing with this illness, and he could be sitting at home, not even worried about anything, which nobody would complain. But the fact of the matter that he came out there and said, you know what? I am going to be here for my team. I'm going to be on the sidelines. I'm going to help Dak out. I'm going to help Looney out. And I'm going to help this offensive line out so we can win some damn games. And that's pretty much what it was about. And I can't do nothing but tip my hat to a guy like that because he was out there basically putting his heart and soul into how he felt about this team. And that's the type of team players that Jason Garrett was talking about, the right kind of players on this team. And you look at this offensive line, even though we had injuries here and there, these are a great group of guys, and they did great by drafting these guys early in their prospective draft classes, and hopefully more to come. But I'm definitely optimistic about Travis Frederick coming back. I pray for him all the time, and but again, that just so you guys know, not to be a negative Nancy, but we have to think about those other aspects too. It's just like with anything else. You can't get your hopes up so much because, again, he may feel great right now, but again, that syndrome is going to be with him for the rest of his life. And the position that he plays and having to basically block off 300 plus pound defensive linemen coming at you and trying to bowl through you to get to the quarterback, at any point in time, your nervous system could go straight to hell and just not work for you, and then all of a sudden you're weak and can't even move your arm. So he's definitely going to have to be watched. That's why Joe Looney is going to be, it's imperative that Joe Looney is still on this team, because if anything happens, you have him right there as your backup to help out in the clutch. Also, too, and like I said, you never understand these things until you hear the player talk about the experiences that they go through with these things, and it just touches your heart. He said basically in last season that, he'll go from the training table. It was at one point in time where he felt so weak because of the syndrome that he couldn't walk from the training table to the cafeteria to go get lunch. And it was at one point in time he couldn't even pick up. He has 2 young kids. I think both of them are younger than the age of 5. And he couldn't even pick his kids up. And I mean, that's sad. Your heart just reaches out to people like that. But shout out to the Cowboys organization for, being there for Travis and just doing their due diligence on, showing their love and respect for their player. I gotta hand it to him for that. And also, one other thing has nothing to do with Dallas Cowboys, but I just thought it was interesting anyway to talk about. Joe Flacco, we already knew that Joe Flacco for the Baltimore Ravens wasn't going to play anymore for the Ravens. They were done with him. His contract was up. That was very clear by the way that they played Lamar Jackson, and they actually played Lamar Jackson in the playoffs last year and didn't even even when they were struggling and almost lost that and were about to lose that playoff game, they still didn't put Joe in. And I was watching that game too, and I was like, well, he ain't gonna be here next year. And even Harbaugh said himself, yeah, we're done with that. But he got traded to the Broncos. There was definitely interest in him. I kind of had a feeling that the Broncos were going to get him off of the strength of the fact that they don't have a quarterback right now. So, you know, Case Keenum, you know. But, you know, Paxton Lynch was a bust. And to believe we almost got Paxton Lynch. Whew, we would have had Paxton Lynch instead of Dak Prescott. Wow. Think about that. And Paxton Lynch ain't even playing in the league right now. Wow. It's funny how things change in a couple of years, huh? But yeah, so they got Joe Flacco now. I think Joe Flacco is definitely a bridge player, so they don't have to rush and try to get a quarterback in the draft right now. He's going to be their bridge until they can find a franchise quarterback, because Joe Flacco is 34, so he's basically that holdover. Kind of the same thing when Alex Smith came to the Redskins. So, but with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue. Thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.